Hello, everyone. Welcome to Broadway Hit Points. We are here in session 5. If you haven't followed us before, we are a Dungeons and Dragons homebrew live stream campaign with a bunch of theater nerds. We will start with introductions. Let's start with Seth.
Hi, I'm Seth. I play Colker Dirtwood. I was not here last week.
So we'll begin by making up for lost time when we start. And Keith.
What's up? I'm Keith Varney. I play Bart the Basher. I was totally here last week.
And
but not the week before.
A rock opera. Sarah will be joining us later. Don't worry, we will have Zinka here. And Jamin.
Hi, I'm Jamin Kumar. I play King Herb. And out of the people last week, I am the one left living. So
this is all it's true. You are the only one. You're the only one smart enough to jump through the portal. Let's start with Colker, and we will have a mystery guest star joining us as we always do a little bit later. Let's start with Colker. So, Colker, you and the Gozu Oni had just defeated all these ghasts and whites and all these people down in the hull of the mortuary, and I
kicked a lot of ass.
You in fact, without Bart, you were the tank, really. You said you were going to go take care of pizza business. So what did you do?
I had important pizza business to take care of, which is to say that I needed to run somehow magically, I don't know, you explain it, back to the Pucknuts headquarters, or Pizza Rat headquarters, excuse me.
Okay, let's see how that went for you, though. Because first you had to get out of the catacombs.
This is true.
You came back up. Let's sort of just chart through this. You came out of that hole in the floor. You saw all these dead people around, and the zombies are now moving into the streets of Sigil. They were sort of moving out of the Great Hall into the streets of Sigil, and there were two dustmen in their cows trying to stop them. Did you go the way they were going?
Now here's the funny thing. I ran off to do this important pizza business. I jumped
Pizza Rat Pizza?
Pizza Rat Pizza. It's probably not going to kill you. I leaped through the door. Unfortunately, and surprisingly, I misjudged slightly, slammed my head, and got knocked the hell out. So I never actually made it back to Pucknuts Pizza. I just kind of lay on the floor for a while, unconscious.
Right in the middle of the mortuary?
Right in the middle of the mortuary.
Oh, that's interesting. So, so you sort of fell here and were knocked unconscious and had a long rest, you're saying?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When you awoke a few hours later, you found yourself in a dormitory. You were bound sitting at a table. There were 3 doors around you. You could see stairs going down to beds on either side, and you could see sort of a bookshelf behind you. Gathered around you, let's say you had 2 dustmen on either side of you when you awoke.
Oh. Hey guys, thanks for dragging me over to the bed. I could really Bart. Thank you. You're not Bart.
No.
Neither of you is
these
Bart.
2 dustmen with these cows are sort of behind their head, look at each other and look back, and one of them says, we're supposed to kill you now.
But you're not going to.
Well, they told us we really should. The others are downstairs, and the Reckliffe is gonna suck their blood, but we dragged you up here to do a killing on our own. It would be our first one.
You really shouldn't have waited to wake back up.
Why's that? You're tied up. What can you possibly do?
I can summon a flame sword.
Do you do that?
Yes, and I lightsaber my way out of the ropes.
The two guys sort of jump to this back room and they say, "Oh, okay, but you gotta sneak out of here. If anyone sees you, we're gonna get in big trouble. Please don't kill us. We're not ready to experience true death."
Okay, you, and I point to one of them, you stay here. You, and I point to the other one, you're taking me to my friends.
Okay. I'll show you where they are.
Cool.
One of the dustmen then brings you down into the catacombs, and you you walk across the hole. You see everyone down there, and then where you're gonna all the different gas and things you've killed. And what's gonna happen is that you get to you open up a door, and I need you to roll a Constitution check.
Okay. 5.
No, you're burned. So as soon
Ow.
as you open up this door, you see a bunch of lava, and this lava sort of reaches out to you. And
Oh, hey,
you're gonna
lava.
take 15 damage. A magma bubble hits your leg, and it's gonna slow your movement speed, and you end up taking 15 damage from that.
Ow.
I took 50.
Well, you fell in it. Did it look like earlier you wanted to do a slogan for Pizza Rat Pizza?
Me?
No,
Did I?
Seth. Yeah.
Yeah. Pizza Rat Pizza. It's probably not gonna kill you.
Great. So the necromancer says to you, this is 10 feet across. We've got to jump across it. Your friends are over there. That's where the vampire lives.
One time there isn't a bridge. All right, I will. I'm just gonna Misty Step my way across. Actually.
Right. As soon as you Misty Step your way across, the dustman ends up running in the opposite direction.
Asshole.
Dustmen or dust bunnies?
When you come into this room, what you're going to find in this room is the two dead bodies of the Gozu Oni who had been fought with you, and the dead body of Zinc, surrounded by all of Zinc's items. Their armor, their equipment, all their weapons, everything.
And a ring of garlic butter.
Lying in a ring of garlic butter.
She's a marinated corpse.
Smells great, but unfortunately does not look very good. Shit.
I mean, there's that armor, there's, a bag with a staff of flowers in it, the peephole ring, lots of potions, a couple daggers, some, a bag of rare gems.
Well, I'll take the potion. Is one of them like a potion of healing?
There's a potion of vitality and a potion of fire breathing.
Okay, I'll take both of those.
Okay, you're just looting through the corpse of Zinc, yes?
I'm just taking the potions. It's too late for Zinc to use them.
True.
Do I have any abilities at all that would help bring them back to life? I don't think I do. I'm a druid, not a healer.
No, it's too late.
Well, I'm gonna sit down and contemplate. Sit down on one of these like altars or whatever around the corner there.
Mm-hmm.
I'll sit on one of them and contemplate for a bit.
Okay. And you notice that as you're contemplating, you notice that there is some this trail of garlic butter leading into the other room, little droplets along the stone floor, and you can also see the dead body of Bart through the door.
Oh no!
Along with all of Bart's equipment.
Bart! Who's gonna enforce shit for me now?
And be your friend?
Okay, while you're there thinking, let's jump to King Herb and see what King Herb has been doing. So King Herb, you may remember you looked at 3 different portals, and you decided to jump through the one that led to a plane of ash that you just saw all around you.
Yes.
You step out in front of the portal, and what you notice is that there's this elemental earth all around you, and a magical force of power is keeping back this hurricane of dust and ash. It's sort of all around you, maybe 50 or 60 feet out from the edge of the Citadel, and it's just swirling in this maelstrom, this storm of annihilation. You see a Doomgaurd in front of the this sort of rubble, and this creature is wearing plate armor and has a sword, and they're sort of arguing with a dwarf, and they say, Pentar wanted a mithril breastplate, and you brought her adamantine. And the dwarf sort of says, I'm sorry, but it's a better metal. And the Doomgaurd said, that's not what you wanted. And beside you, it pushes this dwarf beyond that magical wall of force, where the swirling storm immediately disintegrates him. Then this armored creature in the full plate looks to you and says, oh, hello, welcome to Citadel Alluvius. What faction are you with?
Oh, I am with. I am of no faction.
I'm gonna have to ask you to go back to the portal then.
May I ask what that debacle was that you were having?
I'm sorry, it's Doomgaurd business. You know, we have a pretty open policy for some factions to explore the Citadel Alluvius, but not everyone's allowed in.
Well, to me it seemed like you were upset about this dwarf not bringing quite the right material, and I have to say, I just, before I go, that I quite understand the need for the specificity of what you want. You see, this boomerang I have here, I scoured my entire kingdom that I own and made sure it was the right one. I spent lots of money, talked to lots of people to get it just right. So I know the specificity and the need of what you might require for this person that you serve. And I say that I am of no faction because I am from beyond, and I have resources that probably may be of some interest to you. If this sounds interesting, I'd love to talk to the person that you serve.
You want to talk to the factotum, to Pentar?
That's who requested the breastplate, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Take me.
All right. Come with me. I'll take you. I'll see what they say. And
right.
They follow. You go over as you approach the Citadel. What you notice is that up close, the Citadel is actually a massive circular tower that has fallen over on its side. Erosion has exposed the inside of it, and most of it is open to the elements. There's dust and ash all around it, but the maelstrom has kept at bay. So they lead you through, and you sort of climb over these big boulders. And the first room you come into has a couch, a sort of destroyed couch, and a broken piano. And there's a spiral staircase in the middle of this, which leads sort of upward through it. And you realize it's all this tower on its side. The floor is concave, and the walls were previously floors. So he says, come here, crawl through here if you can, dwarf.
I'm small. I can handle it.
All right. I need you to make a dexterity check.
Oh, okay. That's a... What is that? +5, 12.
Yeah, you get through. It's not pretty, but you sort of squeeze your dwarven body through. and you come into another room. This room you're in now has 2 broken bookshelves, and books are sort of scattered all over the floor. Everything around seems to be worshiping entropy and decay. There's less roof here, and again, there's sort of a full spiral staircase that you've got to come around.
Can I grab one of those books before I squeeze in whilst the guard is in the other room and waiting for me?
Yeah, absolutely. Are you going to try to read it or just grab it?
Just grab it.
Okay. As you
And
continue
put
now,
it away.
yeah, you put one of the books away. Do this. Make a little note that you have it. So you move into another room, and this room is bare. The spiral staircase goes all the way through it, and the hole that it went through is rubble has come down, and that's impassable. So this sort of creature, this Doomgaurd creature, walks up a ladder and says, "Come this way, come this way." And
all right, give me a second. My legs are short.
You get to the top, you can see out around. Now you see this whole tower. You're about 30 feet off the ground here, and it leads you down into another ladder. So you're on sort of the floor of this tower that's fallen over. You go down the ladder and you come into an armory, and you see weapons all over the place.
Oh. Any boomerangs?
No, they're mostly swords and axes.
Hammer? Bashers?
There are some hammers in there. Yes, there's several large sledgehammers, warhammers.
Is there a small sledgehammer?
Yeah, there's a sort of a smallish type sledgehammer. Yeah.
I'm gonna pick it up and inspect it and see if our guard tries to stop me.
No, he seems to have been walking underneath the roof back to what is sort of the largest part of the tower. This is where the spiral staircase went up, and he sort of starts knocking on a trap door that was in the wall, sort of heading up, and then he sort of scurries through the trap door for a second and closes it behind him.
Oh. Well, then I will pocket that small sledgehammer and whisper to myself, found Bart's new weapon.
You already have the big line of Bart's heart.
Oh, he's on thin ice. He's getting a small basher. I see him next. He's getting a baby bash.
Like the kid basher? Great.
Okay, while you're waiting for that, let's see what's actually happening to Bart. Like I say, we're gonna jump around a little bit here. So Bart, you were in the waiting room of Judgment City, with several sort of other petitioners who were waiting, and a Gozu Oni dragged you away, and they brought you down into a chaotic neutral room. So what you're going to see, Bart, is you bring into this courtroom. There is a sphinx on one side, and there is a sort of spirit centipede on the other side, and a large Tianlung dragon. When you walk in, the dragon says, hello, welcome to the trial of Bart the Basher. First, we are going to decide which of the chaotic planes he will be sent to. Ysgard, the plane of chaotic that straddles between neutral and good, limbo, purely chaotic neutral, or pandemonium, chaotic evil neutral straddling. Each side will have 3 minutes to make their defense. We will start with the Sphinx.
Hello, I am Svinkgadinka, the Sphinx.
Oh, are you my sphincter? Wait, no.
No, I'm your lawyer.
Oh, okay. Cool. What did I do?
And I ask of you, what walks on 2 legs in the morning? 4 legs in the morning, 3 legs in the afternoon, and then 3 other legs in the evening. This man is the answer to my riddle. This elf.
Do you sit down after you've made that case?
I am but a simple country sphinx lawyer.
Okay, roll a charisma and add +3 to it. Tell me what you get.
Does the sphinx have the same stats
No,
as Colker?
he gets +3.
Okay. Natural 20.
Oh,
23.
The dragon looks impressed. Everyone in the room looks impressed, and the jelly sort of starts shaking a little bit. The spirit centipede says, "Good. That's a good argument. I would like to say that I believe that this creature should be sent to limbo, where everything is possible and nothing is possible. Limbo, the land of true chaos, where you can determine nothing at all. I think Ysgard is too good a place for him. That is my opinion. The prosecution rests." At which point,
Not very nice, spiritipede.
the jelly sort of forms a bright green, and the Tianlung dragon says, yes, you have been assigned the plane of Ysgard. The next determination is what type of creature should Bart remain. How worthy were they as a chaotic, slightly good, slightly neutral creature? And the Tianlung reaches into Bart's mind, pulls out all of Bart's memories in a blue globe, and throws them up onto this sheet where everyone in the room can see. And says, you may begin. Call forth any memories you would like to show whether they should be resurrected as a high creature or a low creature.
Oh, yeah. My favorite memories, eating pizza.
There's a memory of you eating 20 pizzas, getting so high that you pass out in the street, and you sort of fall down, almost die, and are taken to a brothel.
Yeah, I was so hungry, and then I wasn't hungry anymore. I'm a problem solver.
The advocate says, the centipede says, he is not good, he runs a drug empire.
Wait, drugs? I run a pizza empire.
The Tianlung says, Sphinx, do you have anything to add?
What is brown and sticky?
What?
That is for you to find out. It is the riddle of the Sphinx.
I think the Sphinx just wipe more carefully.
The centipede says, he is not good. He bashes sheep and dogs and skeletons. He has killed so many poor innocent defenseless creatures.
But he does them all in the name of good.
And I also bash vegetables, which are boring, as opposed to pizza, which is delicious. And I'm famous and hilarious.
Roll a charisma check, Sphinx. And I think you can roll one too, Keith.
Yeah.
I got a 20. Not a natural 20, a 17 plus.
Okay.
8.
I got a 14.
Both of those move you in the positive direction. That's pretty
Woohoo!
good. The spirit centipede.
The answer, by the way, is a stick.
A stick?
Is brown and sticky.
That sounds a lot like the jokes I tell when I smash vegetables.
The spirit centipede jumps up angrily and says, he is not good. He is a were-rat.
Well, yes, not by choice. And also, I killed 1 million orcs because I was a were-rat.
They show on the screen of the memories, Bart as a were-rat, naked, attacking an army of orcs who do not have silver weapons and cannot hurt him, as he just rampages through, massacring tons and tons of them. And blood all over his naked body. It's just, the spirit said, does this look like a good creature to you?
I was bashing. I mean, to be fair, my name is Bart the Basher. If I weren't bashing, I'd be a liar. So I'm telling you the truth.
This is true. He has fulfilled his duty as proposed by his name. What is more good and proper?
Yeah, I'm up front. Also, I have a girlfriend and she stabbed my eye.
That's not quite relevant.
A memory grows up of him with what was her name? Stacy DC, with Stacy DC sort of stabbing his eye and pulling it out. And then an eye, but it was on his shoulder. And then the spirit said to me, says, how did he get an eye on his shoulder in the first place?
Oh, catastrophe shards. They're fun.
Memory goes up of Bart calling forth phoenixes and all sorts of chaotic creatures into being. The blob turns a different color, and the Tien Lung says, our great judge has decided. You can either be reborn as a Fincer, a Barrior, or with no change whatsoever.
No change. I'm perfect just as I am.
Sphinx,
Yes.
do you have any opinion on this?
I believe he should be allowed to choose his own fate.
The spirit
Oh, I
centipede.
also ate a fairy being a snake. I
Stop
don't know if that's
talking. You're
relevant.
just making things worse.
But I solved the riddle.
The spirit centipede says, I can't believe this! And the judge glows this sort of bright golden color. And the dragon says, he will be sent to Ysgard in the form of an elf with a hammer tail. But
Yeah!
we will kick your memories.
Is there cake?
And all of your memories are sent into a little portal to the astral plane.
That's okay. I didn't have a great memory to begin with.
And they carry Bart out and they throw you through a portal. We will catch up with you in a second, Bart. And now we're going to move over to the other room. And we're really excited because we are able to have Zinkadinka joining us. Yay!
I don't remember who you are.
Oh, I think you're on mute, Zink.
Awkward.
I'm entirely forgettable. It's okay.
I don't really know what's happening at all.
So we move over into the other room right across the hall where Zinkadinka is on trial. Meanwhile, in Zinkadinka, it's almost the same room exactly. You have the judge, you have the dragon, except in this room, you have a pentadrone, which is this mechanical construct, Modron with 5 arms and legs. And Zink, as you're brought in, the Tien Lung takes the memories and says, we are here to determine whether this creature first should be sent to Arcadia, the land of lawful, plane straddling neutral and good, Mechanus, which straddles the lawful neutral land, or Acheron, lawful straddling neutral and evil. Pentadrone, you can make opening arguments.
Hello, it is I, Pentadrone. And today, we must remember that we are all just a cog in a machine, such as the mechanics within me. And I think we must look at Zinkadinka's life as the cog she played in the machine of her life. And it seems here that your main purpose was as the assistant to the King Herbert Danquil. And I say Herbert Danquil was a noble man, a respectable gentleman who sought to do good. Now, could such an assistant to such a man be worthy of anything but the best? I think not. For that was the role that Zinc chose to play in her great life. And I think that she should be sent back to the plane from whence she came to serve at Herbert Danqueed's disposal, where she was rightfully meant to be and too soon taken. Thank you. Thank you.
Amazing.
Insane.
Zinc, do you say anything while your lawyer is making the speech?
You know what? I don't think I do. I think I remember how well Herb set me up for revenge. And I think I'm like, you know what? If he wants to think I'm his assistant, he can think I'm his assistant. Like, I'm a gnome. I don't care. I am. Zinkadinka knows who they are.
No objections. As you see, a loyal servant.
The spirit centipede jumps up and says, wait, this is all wrong, what they're saying. This is a chaotic creature. This is an evil creature. They left Flotsam to die. They didn't help to resurrect them, and then just 2 days ago they didn't even remember their name, and they throw up a thing where Zinka says, what was the name of our bard friend? And then the spirit centipede said, he killed Dark Chainmore ruthlessly. This is an evil creature.
But you are not looking at the machine as a whole.
Ruthlessly. I was just going to say ruthlessly. Ruthlessly. Play the tape. Play the tape.
Ruthlessly. We see Zeke going into a room and throwing on the ground this potion of insanity mist, and then leaving while Doc Chainmore inhales it and just starts like killing themselves by cutting their own body to shreds.
I mean, didn't technically you kill him twice?
Twice.
Yeah, because remember we killed him again in the sheep land.
You see an image of you guys at Judgment City, and the young Tien Long says, "This is very odd. We normally don't show memories from our own courtroom." But you see him being transferred to a larval creature and sent down to the plane of Acheron.
Oh, that's right. Then we made him a slug.
What are the little toys that I made? All the children in the city and all the things that I did that were good. What about those things? Does Court care about those things?
The spirit centipede says, yes. What about those things? And an image comes up of Zinkadinka making a toy for a small Triton child, a flamethrower, in which that Triton child then immediately burns them. And it says, does this look lawful? No, this is pure chaos.
We also drowned an entire
part of a greater plan.
We also drowned an entire city.
This man is not inside of our courtroom.
He's being dragged through the hallway.
Pay no attention
I'm
to that
still
man,
here.
clearly taking to a chaotic land.
Hey, do or do you not? Are you not in possession of my heart right now? The light of Bart's heart. So this is the
I am
consequence.
not. I am but a five-legged mechanical creature. I know not of what you speak. Would you like to come in before you get taken away?
Unfortunately, Bart doesn't have any of his memories anymore. So you just see this poor gnome that you know nothing of. Roll a charisma check, Jamin.
Oh, and I get a +3. Is that what we decided?
Yeah.
That's a 22.
The the jelly forms a sort of metal color, and the Tianlung says, "Oh, the Modron has made a good argument. This creature has been determined to go to Mechanus, the lawful neutral plane, the plane of machines, because they are, as you say, a cog in the machine. They will be a Modron, an embodiment of law. Now, there are 5 types of Modrons: the monodrones, the duodrones, the tridrones, the quadrones, and the pentadrones. And an image comes up of each of the 5 kinds of Modrons. And the Tianlung says, we now must determine which of these Modrons they should be. Each type is named after the amount of tasks it is capable of carrying out. Monodrones, only 1 task. Duodrones, 2. Duodrones, the monodrones are spherical cyclops. The duodrones are 2 rectangular prisms stacked atop one another, connected by a rod and gear apparatus. The tridrones have a body of an inverted triangular pyramid, each face having 1 eye and 1 mouth, with each arm extending from each of the 3 lengthwise edges. The quadrones are well-armored cubes with 2 arms, 2 legs, and a set of decent wings. And the pentadrones are the highest ranking of them all, a 5-pronged, mechanically articulated starfish. We must determine which of these Zinc and Dinka should become.
Can't it just be me myself? What do I have to do one of these drones? What am I gonna do in the drone land? What's going on here?
I think she is sufficiently mechanized with her springy knees, is what she calls them, and other mechanical sorts. I think that she will serve just fine in this realm as the mechanical creature she is.
Make a charisma check.
18.
The spirit centipede jumps up and says, no, this creature should be a monodrone, a single cycloptic monodrone, capable of 1 task, a very simple, stupid monodrone. That's what I think. And they roll, what did you get?
I got an 18.
Okay. I'm not gonna tell you their score yet. Do you have the Tianlung looks to Zinc and says, do you have anything to say about this?
I guess I'm curious about my purpose. You know, I've been misunderstood my entire life. And now you want to change what I have become to something new after I have been working my whole life to find my purpose, to do good in the face of terrible evil. So I just ask you, this court, who is really on trial here? I don't think it's Zinkadinka. Look within and find yourself, for I have found myself.
As you say that, a sort of purple ray shines down, and this golden-haired elf appears, and the elf says, I am here to petition for this creature on behalf of Corellion. And the spirits of Corellion, they don't even, this is a chaotic, they don't even worship Corellion. And they throw up 2 images onto the memory screen. One is of Zinkadinka in a shrine surrounded by a bunch of different creatures who were little creatures made of twigs and leaves that were upsetting a shrine of Corellion. And in this area, Zinkadinka clears them and then makes a prayer to Corellion at this shrine. And then the Elven says, and the last moment of their life. Can we please see on the screen the last moment of their life? And right before Zinkadinka is killed, they are reading a holy book that is the writings of Corellion.
Oh, throw
A
it back to
tear
the
is brought
violet.
to my mechanical eye. What a noble creature we stand in the presence of.
I don't know what any of that means.
The Tianlong takes a moment. The jelly turns a bright rainbow, and the Tianlong says, "Where would you like to go, Zinkadinka?"
Oh. Do I have a counselor that can set me on the path that I should be on, or is this my choice?
This is your choice now.
Where would I be most needed?
The elf, sort of a golden purplish light finds down on them, and the elf says they should be sent to the Citadel Alluvius.
Do it. Alluvius me.
As you go, the Tianlong says, "Let me tell you what this means, Zinkadinka. You are now a planar creature. You are a creature of the Outlands, a true neutral creature of Sigil or the Outlands. If you are killed in the Outlands or in Sigil or in any prime material world, you will be reborn. If you are killed on any outer plane, your life will be lost forever."
High stakes. Wow.
I mean, do I get anything in return for that big high stakes risk that I'm gonna be taking if I go to this place?
You, unlike 99% of all other petitioners, get to keep your memories and your identity.
Oh, yeah, all right. I'll try not to die. I'm in.
You are taken out and sent through a portal. Now, before we jump into Citadel Alluvius, I just want to check in real quick with the actual Colker.
Yes.
You are, last we met, you were sort of cradling your head, looking at the dead body sitting on the sarcophagus of a vampire, of Zinc and Bart, and at the trail of butter.
Oh, only one thing to do. And I follow that trail of butter right into that portal.
Okay. As you start to follow the trail of butter, you walk over the body of Bart, picking up any of the items, or no?
I can't bring myself to.
Are you walking?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Bart. I love you, man.
I don't remember what I had.
By the way, Zig, you don't have any of your equipment. You have none of your stuff right now. All you have is yourself in a robe, but you do still have your springy knees. As you walk by, are you walking fast, Colker, or are you being stealthy?
Well, being stealthy, this is a big open room.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just kind of walking straight. I'm walking with purpose.
Okay.
But forlornly with purpose.
As you walk, you notice a sort of creature looking at a chest in the back of the room, and this creature turns to you right as you get to the door and says, "Who are you and why are you here?"
Oh, leave me alone. And I walk into the portal.
As you walk into the portal, you see the creature like holding up its hand and a red sort of glow forming about it and shoots out. It just misses you as you jump into the portal.
Lick me.
Take that, wizard lizard.
Lizard.
He says, "Oh, I was fondling my phylactery." As you disappear.
In public?
Okay. So we'll come back to you in a second, Bart. But now let's jump back. So you come out into Citadel Alluvius, and I would say you, Zinc. Before we get, you fall right down next to King Herb, who is in an armory room.
Oh?
Oh my god, Herb,
Zinc.
my king.
What?
Uh,
Yes.
I was somewhere, and then they said that I was your servant, and I guess I agreed, and then I tricked them into thinking I was better than I am, and now I'm here.
Well, wow. What an interesting turn of events.
I don't have any of my
I could
stuff.
use some help here, I'm sure, because I have no idea what I'm about to face.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know what this place. Do you have any of my stuff? I only have my knees. I need my flowers.
take the. You're in an armory room. Pick up anything you think might suit you.
All right, I'm gonna get a. I need a crossbow. No. Wait.
There is a crossbow in there.
How about bow and arrow?
Oh, wait.
A short bow.
Can I give? Wait. Can she wield the light of Bart's heart?
No,
Okay.
she can't. It's a simple weapon. She can't do it.
All good. All good.
Um,
What do you
do
mean
I
by
not have my
simple?
suit anymore either? Is my suit gone?
Your suit is gone.
Damn it.
Yes. Now there is some armor in here, and all this is very well. So you got a short bow. It's a short bow +1. All of this equipment is sort of very nice equipment.
I want a short bow. I want to start collecting whatever I can to be able to make a new suit.
King Herb, close your ears for a second, Sarah. Are you going to mention anything about the potions?
Healing.
The potions that you stole off of Zink's corpse?
Did I? Or-
Yeah, a potion of
that was Colker.
vitality and a potion of Oh no, that's Colker. You're right. That is Colker.
Yeah,
That's not you, that's Colker.
I took
That is
those.
Colker. That's right. That's Colker. Okay. Yes, there is a short bow. And what were you looking for? Armor, Zink?
Yeah, I want like stuff that I can start building a new one of those new suits out of.
Oh, there are lots of equipment here, but you don't have the tools to forge and small things down. There's enough here for you to make the inventory you need for your spell list.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So and there is some leather armor.
Oh yeah, because my armor class went way down. Yeah, let's grab some leather armor, and I can use that as a skeleton to build stuff on later.
Skeleton.
Oh no.
You put on some leather armor. It does have some magical equipment or sort of things running around it, but you don't quite know what they are. While you're doing that, coming up the ladder is Colker.
What'd I miss?
Wait. Hello?
Where are you, dude? I was dead. Now I'm here.
Where have you been?
Where were you? Making pizza? What's going on?
Yeah, let's go with that. Yes, I was tending to extremely important pizza business. We'll go with that.
Well,
But now I'm back,
you don't
Okay.
know what's
wherever here
happened
is.
in the meantime, and
So
we could
where
have
is
used
here?
you.
How did you get here? Where is here? Where is here? Where's all
I
my
went into the portal that I'm guessing Herb. I followed a trail of some really nice smelling stuff.
Yes, yes.
Very
Zink,
garlicky.
the lizard wizard that killed you. The portals in that room, I ran through one. So on the other side of that is the deathly lizard wizard. So I say we meet whoever is going to meet us here and see what we can suss from that.
Is the
before we
lizard
begin.
wizard that really ugly guy? I just kind of told him to screw off.
We definitely can't go back.
definitely can't go back.
Not that way, at least. Or if we
Duly
do,
noted.
Where's Bart? What's going on? Where's
yeah,
Bart?
where's Bart?
He was just as dead as you were, Zink.
While you're
Speaking of
saying
which-
that, the creature sort of comes out through the door and says, "Pentar will see you now."
Wonderful. My attendants have just arrived. As I said, I'm a very important man who can get a lot of important things done. So, come to, assistant and second assistant to Colker.
They bring you to a trapdoor that's in the in sort of the edge where the spiral staircase went up, and you sort of all have to climb and squeeze through. and you come into this room.
Now, granted, that shouldn't be too hard because we are a gnome and a halfling.
That's true. You come into this room where glowing runes are on the floor, and in the middle of the room is our mystery guest. This is Pentar.
Woo!
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Your Majesty, may I call you Your Majesty? You seem very
Sure.
important.
I don't believe in status, if you will. I believe that, we are who we are, how we were brought into this world.
Agreed.
What is
and I was
this
brought
world
in-
exactly?
I believe you know. I believe you've run into a few of our people, creatures.
Yes. Quite a lovely place you have here. I love what you've done with the place. This whole sideways thing is a really nice look for you. I understand that you're in need of some armor. Would you like to enlighten us on what your need of that is?
Oh, yes. Actually, I am in need of some armor. As you can see, we have a big battle on our hands. We're trying to, the necromancers are out here bringing people back to life. We don't really believe in that. I believe once you're dead, and when your body decays, so goes your soul. There's no need to mourn. That's just the way life goes. But since we're up against more mythical creatures who are constantly bringing back people from the dead, we need all the help we can get,
Yes, back from the dead. I know nothing about that,
Oh, good.
and neither does anyone here.
Fabulous.
Definitely not.
We were all on our first lives, and only lives as far as we're concerned.
Good. I love to hear that. There are just so many people who feel like they need more time, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Of course.
One life to live, if you will.
Yes, and I'm wondering, as
We went
are
to the
in
general
our-
hospital and got healed as opposed to came
Like
back.
sands through the hourglass, so are the days of our lives. Our
Ah,
single life.
one.
The
Days
one
of
life
our
we
life.
all had.
Yeah. Passions.
What might you help us make our life a bit more worth living? If we only have one, we should cherish it. And as I believe in your theory, I think that if there's a way that you can help us get what we would like in this world, and we'd be happy to help you along as well. Scratch my back. Me and my assistants will scratch yours.
And what exactly is it that you need in this one life, this one world?
We need to make it. We need. We need
Bart?
to serve. So, what we need, if I can just, right? We would like to help the needy, and we've gotten a bit lost here in these planes, But what we really want to do is make our life worth living for other people, and we would like to go back to our place of work called Tasha's Cauldron, which is a food kitchen to help the needy people of Sigil. But you see, we've also misplaced our busboy who works there. His name is
I punched
Bart
a toad.
Bart the Basher. And if you could just get him back with us and send us back to Tasha's Cauldron, we'd be happy to enlist any of our services into your need.
I know of no such man.
As she
famous.
moves aside, you can see sort of a portal behind her, and what you can see is this green smoke going into an orb of the giant scales of some giant serpent that is heading towards the sun. Let's take a quick break and jump to Bart for just a second. Let's just see what's happening in Bart's world before we come back to you guys. Bart, you have landed in Ysgard. You are on an immense river of earth flowing through the sky. Above you are huge floating boulders with glowing red undersides. This is where the light's coming from. Your Earthberg is large. These are city-sized. And you can only make out the edge falling off into the sky. The rest is obscured by hills and buildings. I need you to roll a dex check real quick, Bart.
All right. Natural 1.
You are thrown to the ground as something sort of hits the earth beside you, and you look up to see the edge of a giant warhammer. The mallet almost up to your waist, and you hear someone said, "I told you I could throw Mjolnir across Gladsheim," declares this sort of loud voice. And then a huge bearded Norseman crashes down into the earth, cushioning himself with his fist. And he stands up nearly 8 feet tall with an unkempt blonde beard. And he looks at you and says, "Hello, friend. Welcome to Ysgard. I am Thor, and I like to bash."
Hi, Thor. I don't know who I am, but I feel strangely compelled to enjoy this bashing thing you speak of.
Let us bash together.
Let's do it.
Do you want to come to Jotunheim and bash some giants?
Yes, I do.
Let's jump back now to where everyone else is. After that lovely little interlude.
I'm gonna Yodelheim all the way there.
We're gonna catch up with Bart and Thor a couple more times during this journey. So
Can I read the runes on the ground? Do I know what this rune says?
Roll an Arcana check.
16.
You realize that the runes have something to do with dissolution and with music, and you would notice sort of musical instruments around you in the corners of the room.
My queen, may I play one of these instruments?
She's not a queen.
By all means.
My
Just
friend?
remember, I'm just a regular human, like
My regular,
any other humans.
my regular human. Can I play one?
Sure. Of course.
Cool. I'm gonna go try playing one of those instruments.
Which one? There's a violin, a lyre, and a cello.
A cello.
Right choice.
Zinc, have you ever played a cello before? Has Zinc ever played a cello before?
I think that when they were in the mines, Zinc probably had told stories of music from above the ground from times long past, and probably knew what one looked like and tried to make one, but maybe has never played a real one.
Roll a performance check.
Me, 11.
You're just sort of plucking the strings, and each one sort of vibrates, and you can see a little bit of magical energy around it.
Second chair.
This is cool. Do you know
Shall
how
I
to
dance?
Yeah.
And I improvise a dance to the avant-garde music of Zinkadinka on the cello.
Roll a performance check with your advantage. What do you have on performance? You should be for dance. Oh no, let's make this an acrobatics check. So give yourself +4 on this.
10.
10. I'm with advantage, so you get to roll
Oh,
one
okay.
more time.
So 10. We're gonna stick with the 10.
So Pentar, you're surprised when you watch this this halfling. They do seem to be a good dancer, but they should have stretched, so they can't quite kick where they want to. But as you
I am grieving.
you are able to bring up some power, and some power comes up from this from the portal, from the signs in the floor around you, and goes out through the little ball that Pentar you have with the green smoke, and the giant scales that are in there start to wither a little bit, and you start to see some blood come out of them through the dance.
I'm gonna bring it home with a cadenza. Vocally.
You're gonna sing?
Yes. Herb will sing.
Was Herbert a singer?
You know how monks do. They chant and phonate. Here and there.
Oh, let's hear it.
My voice sounds just like a piano.
You used to roll a performance check.
18?
You do have a nice little chant coming, and more power starts to be coming up through this, and it seems to be counteracting your own song, Pentar.
Oh man. It's
Can you
terrible.
To stop eating the sun? Can you just tell that snake to stop eating the sun?
No.
Why not?
No.
He's just a snake. He doesn't
No, it's not just a snake. You see, it's terrible, this thing. Your world is dying, and it is supposed to die. It's gonna die. That's just the way things are, and you just all have to come to terms with it. Honestly, I don't understand what this clinging to life is about. Just let it go. God.
Oh.
I throw the cello into the portal.
Ooh, okay. Wow. Oh.
So
Do you hold on, Pentar? Do you let them do this? You are between the cello and the portal. Do you want to try to throw it, or do you just step aside and watch it go?
I just step aside and watch it go. I'm all about destruction and things being destroyed. I mean, like, this whole place is not, it's not the Taj
It's
Mahal.
not
you
here
know?
to make friends.
Fellow comrade. This I share in your beliefs with the serpent eating the sun, and everyone should just die and live their one life. How can I help service in getting this serpent to eat the sun? Or how do you fuel it? I guess I should ask.
I mean, you've already stumbled upon the ways that I fuel the serpent. At this moment, we are linked, interchanged together. I know where the serpent is.
Ball, through that orb that you have.
No.
Oh.
Maybe. Oh, this is crazy.
Why don't you roll an Arcana check, King Herb?
All right. Oh, +0. Great. That was a 5.
Yeah, you know only as much as Pentar just told you.
So I'm sorry. We were trying to help. Is our music a disservice at this moment?
It's not really a jam session. It's more of a solo. You know what I mean? So
I'm noticing blood coming out of the serpent once we start playing. Is that harmful to it? We could stop if that's the case.
Seems critical.
Doesn't it? But the only way to really hurt the serpent is to hurt the person in charge of the serpent. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
do would never
absolutely.
do, right?
Do with that what you will, but like honestly, like pretty golden.
On that note, let's just take a quick little break. Let's jump back. So, Bart, you are you are in Jotunheim, and Thor and you are fighting a hill giant, and Thor smashes it with Mjolnir and goes, "Look at that! Now your turn."
Okay, I've got this thing. I got a thing coming out of my butt. I feel strangely compelled to hit it with it.
And he hands you his hammer.
Yes! Yes, I'm gonna do that and my butt hammer. Yes!
Roll, and tell me what happened on this roll.
Okay. I don't know what the bonuses are.
I'm gonna
but
tell
just
you once you roll.
flat out, I rolled a 15.
Okay, so when you roll a 15 with Mjolnir, oh, hold on. Let me find it real quick. Sorry. It does plus 18 to hit, and in addition to doing 3d6, it does 20 force damage. So this hill giant is just like thrown across the land into a mountain that it practically levels.
Can I keep this?
No, that's mine. He takes it back from you. He says, "But we'll fight together," and goes and jumps and starts hitting another hill giant.
Okay, I'm gonna hit it with my butt hammer now. It feels oddly musical. Also,
Let's jump back.
I don't remember
now.
what it does.
Let's jump back to the room. So you've just learned that Pentar says the only way to destroy Apophis is by destroying Pentar herself.
Great. I'm going to cast Flesh to Stone, my spell scroll.
Oh! You're gonna cast it on Pentar?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh,
damn, I thought you were here to help. Wow.
Pentar.
Well,
So hostile.
would you like to fight against your mortal life?
Pentar, you get a Constitution saving throw on this
Oh, lovely. Thank you.
because you're pretty powerful.
Don't worry, it takes some time. There's gonna be some time. It's a process.
It takes some time to get it together. I get you.
Yeah,
No
it's a ongoing thing.
What saving throw?
A Constitution saving throw.
21.
You fight it off. It starts to sort of harden around you, and your whole body starts to come stone, and then you kind of fight it off, and you still have little sort of pieces of rock in your skin, but it hasn't hampered your mobility.
Oh, well. Dusty.
Oh, weird. That just flew out of my pocket. So sorry. So sorry. The flying cello really scared me. And so glad you're okay. I knew that you were.
Oh, Herbert.
Herbert's game.
That is
Like-
your name, right? King Herbert.
Yeah,
Oh,
if
wow.
you will. But you know, what is a king?
Oh, but a liar. Someone who lies for a living, someone who pretends to want to help somebody, believes in
Michael Crawford.
mortality. I see
Listen,
you.
just don't talk to a certain vampire I helped last week.
He basted.
So, should we roll initiative?
No one's attacked yet. I'm not going to make you roll initiative until someone takes an actual attacking move. It doesn't seem like Pentar is responding violently to the flesh to stone yet.
Is there anything else? I wanna look
No.
around.
I'm busy singing, so
Oh,
having a moment.
Yeah, you would notice that when Pentar's not talking to you, she's singing a song that is pushing power right through that glowing orb.
I'm going to take my boomerang and throw it at her trachea.
Ooh.
Just gonna aim for larynx.
Okay.
That feels aggressive.
Go ahead and roll.
So aggressive.
Oh man.
She literally said the only way to stop this serpent eating the sun is to kill her. Why is nobody jumping on board? She flat out gave us the rules to win.
I feel like everyone just, didn't believe me. I feel like you've been dealing with liars.
No, we believe you. We're just not necessarily
sure we care.
can kill a god.
You're not a
Ladder.
god. You're just a
I'm
friend.
not a god.
Oh, in that case.
I rolled a 25 to hit.
You rolled a 25 to hit. And how much? Yeah, you didn't roll a natural 20. You got it with your +6. You rolled like a 19.
I got an 18 plus. It's
Okay,
a plus
great.
7.
+7. Go ahead. How much damage do you do?
16.
All right. You do successfully hit her right in the trachea, and it sort of bounces off, and it stops her singing for a second. You have not muted her, but she's hoarse. She needs an adrenaline shot real bad.
She's not going to be able to do the matinee.
That the boomerang, it has pointy ends.
She's already called the understudy.
That's right.
The blunt end found her, but
I don't know who the deputy is on this, but this feels like an unsafe work environment.
Find a cot to lay down for a minute.
Let's all roll initiative now.
Oh, I just rolled a natural 20, but I'm not playing.
Hi.
Colker got 24. Yeah.
I got a 14.
Zinc
16.
and Pentar.
20.
Okay. So don't forget that there's also a friend in the room. That you may have noticed there's another sort of person there. Okay. Colker, it's you have the first move. This is a pretty crowded space you're in. You can go a little bit further out under the roof, which tapers down, so that goes another sort of 20 feet, gets narrowing. But basically, you're in like a 15 by 30 foot room here.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna summon my flame sword, flame blade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 1 second, and that is I'm summoning a third level flame blade. Well, they're the same actually. So.
Mm-hmm.
Flame blade, and attacking what's her name, Pentar, with the flame blade and the shadow glass dagger.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for both of those.
Okay. Flame blade, I rolled a 13.
Uh-huh.
And shadow glass daggers, I rolled a 10.
Pentar sort of does this dodge and moves around both of them. In fact, Pentar, Inda, why don't you tell us how you dodge both those attacks?
Oh, I'm really in touch with like the shadow world, but I'm also, very agile. I'm quite young. So it looks like I'm gliding across almost like I'm skating on ice, and just dodging.
The shadows come around and sort of the shadows almost block the hits that you're going for there, Colker. Okay, Pentar, what do you do?
Ooh. I'm going to use inflict wounds on Colker. Just as I can.
Uh-huh.
So what is that? 3d10. Give me a second, I'm getting my die.
Colker, you are still a little scarred from the heat.
Yeah, I'm at 30 points.
Right.
38 points.
And you may have just, if you were listening closely, you may to the game dynamics, you may have just heard NJ say she's rolling a 3d10.
Uh-oh.
18.
Oh. So that does inflict wounds. Colker's already burned flesh starts to really sort of bleed all over, and it's pretty bad for the and it's really bad because it's his dancing feet.
Oh,
Sucks.
There's gonna be no one available for the matinee. We're gonna have to cancel the show.
oh God, not good.
I'm gonna bleed on you.
Wow.
Okay, Zinc, what are you gonna do?
Who's this guy in the room? Who's this other guy?
So that is the person. All you know is that it's someone who's wearing this sort of Doomgaurd outfit, and has sort of plate armor and has sort of a sword with them. They have sort of long serrated ears.
Would I know anything about this person in front of me? Like, would I know anything, an Arcana check on anything about her?
I don't think so, because they are a planar race, so you never would have encountered them in Gay and Bear.
Okay. I'm gonna ask them, what would happen if I jumped through to the snake?
You're in the fight. You're sort of you're gonna cross. Are you yelling across, or are you moving up to this person?
I'm gonna move up to them. I'm gonna kneel, and I'm gonna say, what would happen if I jumped to the snake?
Now this person has a sword drawn out and has moved to protect Pentar. They did it sort of as soon as Jamin cast Flesh to Stone. Okay. So you come up, you're kneeling beside them and saying this. Roll a charisma check. What happened if I jump to the portal?
8.
It is luckily their turn now. They are next in this sort of lineup, and they say to you, you can't jump to the portal. This is for spells. This isn't even a portal. What's wrong with you? And they take their greatsword and they sort of swash down at you. And this is a silvered greatsword, you would notice. And your armor, one of them gets through and sort of slashes you, doing 14 points of damage. It sort of comes, you just jump back in time with your springy knees, and it sort of draws right across your chest through your leather armor, because you don't have Airy anymore. It is at the mortuary where one of your friends could have picked it up, but chose not to. Even after the dungeon master tried several times to point it out.
Almost like he chose not to save Fish Guy as he slowly died in the carpet.
Almost like that. King Herb, what are you gonna do?
Okay. I'm gonna see that Pentar has cast inflict wounds on Colker. And I'm gonna say, not my friend. I'm gonna run up and inflict wounds on her. Because I'm shadow touched benches.
I believe you started this, sir.
True.
Yes.
We were all just chilling.
But you're fueling the serpent. So in a way, you started it.
I finish things. I don't start them.
Oh, snap.
So I'm gonna inflict wounds, and now can I be while I'm inflicting the wounds, can I be shouting to the guard man? I've seen in your eyes. You don't believe in this. You wish to be reborn, don't you?
Who are you talking to?
Your guard.
Talking to your Doomgaurd, number 2 lieutenant. What's that charisma?
Oh, where is it? Where is my +1? 17.
Okay, we'll see what that does when we get back to him.
I'm gonna inflict my wounds right now.
Roll it to hit.
16 + 3 is 19.
That gets through.
And then I'm gonna do this on here because it's easier.
3d10.
3d10. 15.
15 points of damage. So it does hurt Pentar. Pentar, it looks weak now. I mean, Pentar, she's bleeding definitely from different places, and I'd say you feel like you've gotten her down maybe a third of her health is gone. Shadows start to form in the room around into sort of dogs, sort of mastiffs start to form into shadows. But before those are fully formed, let's jump right back in with Bart. Bart, you've hit another giant. There's sort of giants all over, and Thor says, "Yo, great. Would you like me to take you to Silver Clangadin, the dwarf who made Mjolnir for me?"
Yes! Yes, and I feel like I deserved it because I just turned down my microphone to fart.
You should leave up your microphone to fart.
That's true. That's what I would do, but the guy playing him decided not to.
Have you ever heard a Thor fart?
No, but I'd love to.
Let's fart as we go to Clangadin's place.
Yes! I love this. Let's fart to Clangadang.
You sort of fart as you sort of move through the air, and Thor sort of bounds farting, grabbing you with it.
Do we fart rainbows like a rainbow bridge?
You want to go to Bifrost?
I want to fart my way to Bifrost and the Clangadang.
What
I
a
want to
great
go everywhere.
idea!
Yeah.
And he takes Mjolnir and he starts to sort of do like a helicopter over him, and you guys fly away over Ysgard. Okay, let's jump back down now to the fight that's happening.
Wait, is Bart dying? This feels like a Make-A-Wish or something.
No, Bart is in his afterlife right now. I don't know that he will ever be rescued from it with his memories gone.
Why would I want to be?
Why would you want to be?
This is awesome.
You're living your greatest dream.
Great.
Colker, we come back to you in the battle.
All right. All right. So I've got wounds on my feet.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Did I take damage from that?
No. You're at 12 hit points right now.
Oh, okay. So I did.
You did take damage. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, I will drink that potion of vitality.
Mm-hmm.
What
Okay.
does that do to me?
The potion of vitality is going to do you regain the maximum number of hit points for any hit die you spend. So and it removes any. Oh, this is interesting. So one thing that potion of vitality does is suddenly you can feel all of your werewolf lycanthropy oozing out of your body. It cures you of the lycanthropy curse, and it's going to bring you back up to you can recover 33 hit points. So it brings you up to full health, 45.
Right.
Back up to full
But
health.
what does it do about those wounds on my feet?
They're completely cured. Your whole body, all of it goes away. Your feet are perfect now.
I feel strong.
Dance.
Now hurt someone.
Do I still have an action to attack, or?
No, that's going to be your action. That use an object is your action. You can move though. You can still move, but
Okay.
that's your action.
Then in that case, I'm going to back up a bit. I'm gonna back up two spaces.
10 feet.
Yeah, there.
Pentar, do you make an opportunity attack or try to make an opportunity attack as the halfling moon walks away from you?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Roll opportunity attack. What are you gonna try to hit with?
I'm going to try and hit with, what is my lesser blade? What is it called? Give me a second. I'm gonna attack with my sword of plains.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Roll +5.
Okay, 17 + 5.
Oh gosh. Well, that gets through.
22. Great. 1d8. 5 plus 1. 6.
Okay. It sort of shoots out as you do it with sort of a flame tongue and burns you as you're going away. Colker doing 6 points of damage.
Ow.
Sorry. No, I'm
Okay.
actually not sorry. You know.
No, you're not.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I would be.
But no. Pentar, it's your move.
Great. I'm going to use the Blade of Mordron Death on the king here.
So aren't you glad, Zinc, you chose not to be a Modron, as the dungeon master thought might happen in this fight? Luckily, your speech was so powerful, because this is a +4 on Modrons, but it gets a +2 advantage on non-Modron, non-construct. Okay, go ahead, MJ.
10 plus 6.
16, that gets through King Herb's armor.
Hell yeah. All right. 1d6. Here we go. 3 plus 2. 5.
But Herb, he's a stocky dwarf, so it doesn't quite get to him. He's pretty tough there. Herb, how do you sort of take half damage on that?
So wait, I got 5 damage done?
Yeah, you got 5 damage, yeah.
Could it be because of my super monk skills that I grabbed the hand as it was heading towards me?
Yes, exactly.
Great. So now we're grappling a little bit.
That's great. So
Sure.
you and Pentar, so you've got one of Pentar's hands in a grapple.
Right,
here.
but I am a 2-weapon fighter.
That's
And I've got a boomerang with a pointy end.
Throwing is my other blade. So he's
a
got this one.
boomerang.
And I'm gonna come back around with the other blade.
Zinc, you see this happening. You see the other blade coming around. You see Herb grab the arm. What are you gonna do?
Okay. What was in the other room? Was there a portal in the other room? An open portal in the other room?
You have not seen an open portal because they sort of used a plane shift spell at the court to put you right into where King Herb was.
Okay.
So you have seen no other portals, but I would say through deductive reasoning, there must be a portal somewhere, because how did Herb get here? You haven't seen it.
Okay. I'm going to cast grease onto the floor right around this fight and these guys with the swords. I'm going to slide through the door on the other side.
Through the trapdoor.
Oh, I didn't know there was a trapdoor.
Well, see, it's a tower on its side. So the spiral staircase, it did trapdoor. So the trapdoor is kind of like in the middle of the wall/floor. It's about 3.5 feet off the ground.
Yeah.
That's what you're gonna do?
Totally.
Okay, great. How did you, by the way, so Grease, so you were able to make it from the weapons outside. How did you make it from those weapons outside?
Someone probably was shining them with some bacon fat or maybe some lard. I just took my little cloth and I was like, ooh, this smells nice. And I just like cleaned it off like this. I was like, ooh, I could use this for my grease spell.
That's
And
awesome.
I get it all over the people that I get it all over these guys that tried to kill me with their swords, and I slide out of the way.
Yeah. So there's a lot you need. You do cast grease. So this whole area now is got grease all over the floor. And next turn you're all gonna have to make a dexterity check. Zinc, why don't you make an acrobatics check since you're trying to slide between the legs, the fighting grappling bodies of King Herb and Pentar are sort of proud. So let's see how you do.
13.
Yeah, I'll say you make it. 13's good enough. Maybe you hit one of King Herb's legs, and King Herb drops the grapple as Zinc sort of hits you on the 13. Then you make it to the door, and you use your springy legs to sort of leap out the trapdoor.
Yes.
Coming right back into the armory room. Okay.
Where does that leave me with my bonus attack?
Oh, that's a real. Oh, you mean opportunity attack?
No, I get a bonus attack whenever I use a weapon.
Yeah. Well, you get 2 attacks per action, unarmed strike, a 2-weapon fighting. You definitely get opportunity. So yeah, you mean you want to use your bonus attack now?
I was.
Yeah, go ahead.
And then
Go
she
ahead.
was sliding somewhere.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. You can use your bonus action here. You get 1 bonus action. Yeah. You gonna try to do it?
I
I
was
mean,
like-
you can all. Yeah, great. So you're gonna try to hit Zinc as they go between your legs.
Yeah,
Okay, great,
with the Sword of Plains.
great. Go ahead and try that. Go ahead and roll.
14 plus 5, 19.
Okay, 19 gets through. How much damage do you do?
It's 1d8. Let me find the die. 7.
Okay, you do hit Zinc, but now I need you to make a dexterity throw because there's grease all around you as you try to do
I
this.
know. Ooh, 16.
Oh, you just stay on your feet. You just stay on your feet.
I'm so agile.
You do it, you sort of slide, then you sort of get back up like an ice skater. And Zinc, yeah,
My
as you
domain
go,
friends.
where do you hit Zinc as they go past NJ? Where do you sort of hit them with the sword?
Because I know so much about bodies, I say kidney.
Oh,
Do some kidney damage.
It comes right at you. Oh, Zinc, it sort of goes, it doesn't get deep, but it does cut the skin right there. Now that you've gone, this guy, this sort of servant, comes up to join the fight and comes up to Herb, but they do not make it. They are prone. They fall on the ground because they don't make the opportunity attack. Okay, Herb, your turn.
All right. I'm going to use my. Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm going to pull out my figurine of wondrous power, the one that looks like ivory goats.
Uh-huh.
Plural. I've noticed it's plural goats. And I'm going to wet it with one of my doses of holy water.
Ooh, holy goat. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Goat.
And then I'm going to use a key point for Step of the Wind. And that lets me to disengage or dash action as a bonus action on your turn. And your jump distance is doubled. Over towards the orb.
The orb. Oh, the orb. Yeah, you can. Okay, you can totally get there, using your key point. And you summon the 3 goats and you jump. I mean, you didn't even. Yeah. Okay, great. Are you jumping on top of the wall? The sort of ruined
How tall is it? How tall are the walls?
20 feet.
And how high is my normal jump?
Your normal jump, I believe, is like 6 or 7.
If it's 20, I don't think I'll make it. My jump is doubled, but it's on top of the wall?
No, it's down on the wall. You don't have to.
Oh no, I'm just
okay.
Jumping away.
You get right next to it. You're able to do that. You roll an opportunity attack, Pentar. He is going past you.
All right. That was me. I forgot.
Sorry.
Pentar. 5.
Nope. King Herb is pretty quick. This monk is very difficult. You don't get it. Now, 3 goats appear in the room. A goat of traveling, which is sort of as large as a riding horse. A goat of travail, which is a sort of giant goat, and a goat of terror. All 3 appear. Let's see what you did with these goats that you. The goat of traveling. Goat of travail and goat of terror. Let's see what they do. While that is happening, the shadows have also formed into mastiffs. So they're going to sort of fight each other. So the goat of terror. Well, let's go through each one of these. The goat of traveling.
They holified too from the holy water.
The goat of traveling is just a very speedy goat. And it's just sort of sitting there ready to go somewhere. The goat of travail is an enormous creature that wicked horns of exceptional size grow out from it. And the goat of terror is this sort of terrifying goat with terror radiating fear in a 30-foot radius. I need everyone to roll a wisdom check.
Including myself?
Nope, not yourself.
I have advantage against being frightened.
Okay.
That qualifies for this?
Uh-huh.
I'm not in the room anymore. Do I need to do it?
No, you don't need to do it. So really only have Pentar and the other, my little guy who's prone.
A 6.
Okay, what'd you get, Pentar?
14.
Pentar,
Wow.
You are not terrified, but Colker, an invisible cone of terror has caused you to become panicked. You just start cowering in the corner. Let's make this the giant goat of terror.
Oh, jeez.
These are my goats.
At this point, the hounds sort of start attacking these goats. So let's make that small. These sort of hounds of darkness come in and start going after all of these goats. So put them down here in a fight, and let's put this over here in a fight, sort of around you, Colker, as you run to the back, cowering away from this goat. Yeah, and these guys are sort of fighting each other. Okay, now Bart, let's check in with you for a second.
Yeah.
So you are at Bifrost, and he says, Thor says, do you want to go to Clangeton and get a Warhammer made?
Yes, I do. I like bashing things. I didn't know that, but I do.
Let us go then together.
Yes, do you have cake?
Wait, do you want to go to the feast hall and have cake?
I want to do. Can we bring some cake with us to get a hammer?
Great idea.
Yay!
Thor takes you into a giant feast hall. Unlike cities, Ysgard just has huge feast halls with lots of beer and cakes. And as you walk in, there's other sort of Norse gods drinking and eating, and you can see Loki and Odin's there and Freya's there, and they're all like, Thor! And he's like, this is Bart!
I'm Bart! That's all I know. I forgot everything else, but I like bashing. I'm Bart, and I apparently also like cake, and I farted a little bit.
They all start farting and belching, and they go, you can fart in Ysgard whenever you like.
Hooray!
Okay, let's get back.
I'm not much used to this story, but I'm having a great time.
Let's get back to the fight. Colker, you are cowering. You get another check to roll a wisdom. With advantage.
I just cannot catch a break with this. My highest of those was an 8.
You just keep cowering in terror. Okay, Pentar, what are you gonna do? There are lots of goats. Your hounds are fighting them. Your man is prone on the floor, and the two seem to have snuck out through a trapdoor.
So it's just me and the king, yeah?
The king, yeah, it's just you and the king. Well,
Great.
the halfling is still there. The halfling is just cowering in a corner.
Yeah, we'll deal with him later. That's fine. I think it's time to cast Inflict Wounds on the king.
But you gotta come get me, and you're standing on some oil.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and like see how I can like, maneuver over to the king using shadow power, but like, jazzy on over.
Is that the official name for it? Shadow
Yeah,
power
that is
with
it.
arms.
Shadow power with arms, we're gonna like jazz hands, and jazz running is great. It's a great way to move in oil. So
try your dexterity.
Fosse.
Great Fosse kid. 18.
Oh,
Broken
you
bell,
slide right over. You Fosse. Right over to King Herb.
That's right, King. Look out. Just want to remind you who started this. Yeah, great. We were all chilling with my serpent eating anything he wanted to eat.
I mean, to be fair, you were destroying all of our known universe, but
but also to be fair, the universe was going to end sometime. I was just speeding up the process. That's how science works. Science.
Yeah, well.
Damn. Okay. Oh man, 9.
Oh, the first attack does not get through his armor. What about the second?
Let's see. 19.
19 does. I imagine your first one though was the blade of Modron Death, and your second was blade of Sword of the Plains.
Yeah.
Okay. So how much does Sword of the Plains do?
Let's see. Have to go.
We're
to the
gonna
attack
start
page.
the next episode in purgatory again.
1d8 2 7.
Okay. You do 7 points of damage. That takes you down to 29, King Herb. The guy tries to stand up, and he's still unable to do so. Herb,
You fool! Stay down. Just let me do all the work.
he's just covered in grease at this point.
Greece is unstoppable. It will be revived forever, whether anybody wants it to or not.
That's all of it.
King Herb, it's your
And
move.
that is the word.
Okay.
Greece is the word.
I'm going to grab the orb,
Uh-huh.
and I'm going to use another key point to do my little fancy jump over to the trap door. And as I'm flying through the air, I'm going to say, Goat of Terror, look at the shadow creature, Pentar. I don't need that face from you, Pentar.
I'm a human.
What do you have? You have shadow things.
I like have shadow things, but I'm a mortal. But that's cool.
I'm immortal. She said it several times.
Like if they attack the shadow things, it's like everything, all creations will die. That's just, the philosophy of life. I started out as a scientist. Well known fact.
Well, I mean, technically, is science's purpose to speed up the entropy or to allow it to happen in its natural causes? It sounds like you're putting the thumb on the scale here.
Is that a voice from the ether?
Potato, voice from beyond.
If only Bart was here to make the argument.
Did you guys hear that? I don't know.
I was screaming,
That's where you go. The afterlife.
I was screaming to my
just-
sheep of terror as I couldn't hear anything.
I think as you grab that, I'm gonna need you to make a strength
God.
saving throw. See if you can, just like pull it out from its magical
Oh,
enchantment.
I see. Oh, hell. 2 + 7. That's a 9.
Nope. You grab it and you try. What would you try to do? You're going to use Step of the Wind.
Yeah, so can I use it then to like step off of it and try to kick it while I disengage?
Step of the Wind lets you do a dash action. I'll let you do it with advantage then. Roll one more strength.
Oh,
That's
a 20
Oh.
+ 7. That is a 27.
You pull it and you sort of go. You jump through as you jump with it. Lightning is sparking all around you, and sort of magical power, mana seems to be manifesting from this orb. Do you try to do a attack as he goes by, Pentar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Go
I
ahead.
do.
Go ahead with your
It's gonna be with the Sword of Plains. Dear God. A natural 20.
Oh, you hit him, and how much damage do you do?
9.
But it's doubled because it's a net.
As I drop my glass.
Hell yeah.
So it turns out to be 18. And where do you sort of stab him as he goes?
I'm going for an artery. That's what I'm going for. Just
I think with a natural 20, you do it. You hit him on the neck, and as he goes, blood is just sort of splurting all over the hallway. Okay.
good luck.
You sort of make it into the other room. As you make it into the other room, the mastiffs and the goats are attacking each other. Let's see. This goat of traveling dies. The goat of traveling cannot fight the mastiff. I mean, however, the second goat, the sort of terrifying goat of travail, does hit it with a wicked horn of exceptional size, doing 10 points of damage. And does that defeat the Shadow Mastiff?
It's a wicked horn.
Oh, yeah, wicked horn. And sort of dissolving the Shadow Mastiff. So the Shadow
Okay.
Mastiff is gone. This one's succeeded, and it's right next. Oh, but now it's looking right at Colker. And your other goat sort of charges down at Pentar. Pentar makes a really scary face. And Pentar, I need you to roll another wisdom save.
Sure. Yeah, no, for sure. Doo-doo-doo. What is my wisdom? +2. 13 + 2, 15.
You are not frightened, and luckily though, the Goat of Terror does not slip in the grease. Its dexterity, its little legs sort of fly over, and it keeps going okay. Let's check in with Bart. So Bart, you're now down in a dwarven mountain. There are sort of dwarven gods all over, and one of them says, "I know you. You fought with King Herb," and you recognize him as Moradin.
Oh, but I don't though.
Oh, you
I'll
don't?
take your word for it.
No, you fought valiantly with the dwarf who became the king.
Awesome. Good for me.
Oh, you've lost your memories.
Yeah,
They can
I have it back?
If you travel to the astral plane, you might be able to find them among the billions of globes of memories that are there.
Thor, are you writing this down?
No!
Okay, I have to find Astrid. Okay, I'm on it.
This way! And
Okay!
It takes you over, and there's a little dwarf, and he says, "Make him Mjolnir Jr."
Yeah, I want the bashiest basher. And my memories, please.
You're not going to get the memories, and your basher can't be bigger than mine. Make it a very short handle.
It's all about how you bash. It doesn't matter how long the handle is.
The hammer can still be big. The handle
Okay.
very small.
Okay, you won't be satisfied, but you'll know it's there.
Meanwhile, let's jump back to the fight. Colker, try to roll a wisdom save with advantage.
Oh my god.
Damn, dude.
Welcome to the show.
All right, I finally hit a 16. How does that do?
You jump
Hell
up,
yeah.
and you're no longer afraid. And I'm going to let you
Oh, yeah.
make an action this move too.
I can make an action?
Yeah, you can make an action, yeah.
Great. I am going to... second. Okay, I guess I'll just, summon my flame blade again.
Days and
Okay.
fights.
You summon your flame blade, and do you want to move at all? You can also move a little bit if you want.
Yes, I will move down to here. Is it showing through?
Like here?
Yeah. One up from there. Yes.
Okay, great. So you get to
Next.
the you get right next to the trapdoor, and the Shadow Mastiff is on the other side. Okay, Pentar.
Yeah. So I just speak to Colker. I'm like, yo, your friends left. Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Went on and left you cowering over there. So
Wouldn't be the first time.
Why are you friends with them?
Yeah.
Seems
To be
like
fair,
you
they
need better
learned it from
friends.
watching him. They learned abandoning people to their deaths from him. So
I just keep hearing these voices, it's very odd. Golly. Okay.
like there's somebody here who doesn't know he's not in the scene.
like spiritually something is coming to me and it's very unsettling.
Been called worse.
But I mean, it looks like you could use better friends,
I mean, yes.
Yes.
Yes. I suppose I
Cool.
could use better friends.
I think at this point I should point out that Pentar's charisma is 19. So this argument really sits well with you, Colker. Like, she is making
could
some
use better
very good
friends.
sense.
You are correct. I could use better friends.
Right?
Especially since the one guy I was really close to, my business partner, is dead.
Oh.
Who had a 17 charisma, I'll have you know.
So it looks like you are in need of a new friend. And you know what friends do for friends?
What do friends do for friends?
Favors. They like to show their loyalty in specific ways.
Do they now?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I seem to have misplaced my orb. Could you get it for me?
Where is it?
In the other room.
Okay.
Cool. Thanks. You just bring that right back to me. And you know what? You'll find out. Cool.
Do you offer him any reward?
Do I have anything to give?
You can give whatever you want. I mean, you're the factotum of a very powerful faction that happens to run the armory in Sigil.
This is true. I can give you any weapon you would like, in return of my orb. Have we got a deal?
Weapon. Interesting. Let me go get the orb and then we'll talk about it.
Yeah, you get the orb and we'll talk.
What do you do, Seth?
Flame blade.
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Hell yes. Now we're cooking.
Go ahead, Colker. You have the flame blade and the shadow glass. Do the double attack.
I rolled a 7 on the flame blade.
The flame blade, she just like moves Matrix style out of the way.
Wow. All right. Cool.
And a 10 on the daggers.
Neither one of them hurts her at all.
I mean, what a great line. If only it were executed with competence.
Only.
True. So true. Floating voice.
Floating voice.
Are we best friends?
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, Zinc, what are you gonna do?
Okay. So I'm in this armory room. Can I go further? Can I go further than this room? Can I keep going?
Yeah, so at the end, you're gonna see in this room that there are a ladder leading up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up.
Okay, when you get
Hello? Did you not just see me fly in bleeding from the neck?
No, wait, that's a different move. Which one do you want to do?
Is he alive
Can you
enough?
help with this current situation?
Is he alive enough to follow me?
He looks pretty bad. I mean, he's got an artery. It's been
Fine.
I'm gonna shout, this trapdoor could use some blockading. Is all I'm gonna say.
Can I cure his wounds and make it over to the thing?
Yes, you can cure his wounds and run up there.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds on my king over here.
Okay.
That's right.
How much do you heal?
10 points.
Okay, that brings Herb up to 21 hit points, and it stops the bleeding of his neck. It stops his bleeding debuff. Okay, when you get to the top, you can see that you're on a tower on its side, and what you see is a sort of a magical field of force is keeping back this swirling maelstrom of dust and ash that looks like if you stepped into it for even a second, you would be disintegrated. Between the tower and the maelstrom of ash, you can see a portal. But that's all you can do on that turn now is get up there. Okay, the guy still can't get out of the grease. King Herb, it's your move.
Bring the orb, bring the orb. Throw it in the ash.
Okay.
Herb!
It's all too much. Yeah, I'm gonna follow Zinc.
Okay. You get up there and you still have a move
Oh,
when you get, because that's 30 feet, so you can do 30 feet and take an action.
interesting. I will use. Let me see. I'll use a potion of healing on myself. How are you doing, Zinc?
Not great, but not bad. Not terrible.
Okay, all right. I think I have three more of those. So I'll use one, which is 4d4 plus 4.
Mm-hmm.
2, 3, 4. 9, 13 points.
Okay. At this point, also, mana is shooting out of this orb, and it's starting to crack at the sides without the power of Pentar. You're up to 34 hit points, though. Okay. The shadows and the goats are continuing to attack. These two sort of knock each other out, so that only the terrified goat is left. Pentar, I need you to do a wisdom saving throw, as well as the guy.
30-20.
Oh, you are completely unfazed by it. Your friend, though, who now is not only stuck in the grease, is now also cowering in terror.
That's my goat.
Let's jump back to Bart for a second.
Yeah.
So Bart, the dwarf, makes a hammer for you, a sort of tiny little Mjolnir Junior.
Yes.
Well, Junior.
Yeah, and says, here you go. This is almost as good as Thor's, but not really quite, but kinda.
Hooray! Thank you. Now, I already have one on my tail. Can you implant it anywhere else on me?
Nah, I'm not a surgeon. You need to go find the gnomes or different. Oh, you know who'd be really good at that? The Modrons.
Let's go to the Modrons.
You just got to make it to Mechanus.
Okay. I don't know where that is. I don't know what's happening. I don't know who I am.
Thor says, I know where Mechanus is. You want to go to Mechanus and get it implanted?
Yes, I want to put it on my forehead so I can be like, butt shimmy forehead slam.
Like a unicorn?
Yes, like a smash-a-corn, a bash-a-corn.
Can you be a thornicorn?
Yes, I want a thornicorn. Yes, I want to be Bart the Thornicorn Bashacorn.
Let's go to the Bifrost again.
Yes.
He starts spinning up. All right. So you are now flying with this tiny Mjolnir to Mechanus to see if you can get it made into something.
Feel great about
a thornicorn. All right, Colker, it's back to you.
Okay. Well, it was worth a shot. Guess I might as well try again, huh? I'm nothing if not consistent.
I mean,
$10 on the flame blade. 22 on the daggers.
Oh,
ooh.
finally, you do some damage. So these shadow glass daggers, Pentar, they're a nasty thing. They cut through you. They're made of shadow, so they cut right through you, and they leave no damage. They're only cutting you inside, underneath your skin. I'm gonna say with this, because these are shadow and that Pentar is made of shadow, they're actually gonna do a little bit more damage. So normally they do 1d4 plus 4. Let's make it 1d4 plus 6.
Okay. 10.
Okay. Pentar, yeah, you're fallen now. You're at you're about at 50% health here. But it is your move.
Great. I'm going to cast Inflict Wounds.
Go ahead and roll.
Oh, wrong die.
Oh, you're
Where'd you
so
go?
powerful.
Where are my d10s? Oh, here they are. Okay.
I mean, we'll roll the 20 first and add 8 because you have a +8. Let's see.
Sure,
if you
yeah.
Armor class.
15 plus 8.
Yeah, you get through.
Yeah, I'd be able 8 plus 9 plus 2 plus 6. What is that?
What are you doing? Oh, did you say you're doing 8 plus 9 plus 2 plus 6?
Yes.
16, 25 points of damage. Whoa.
Ow.
That takes Colker. Those hurt you bad. Where do
Takes me
you
down to. I'm at 14 points now.
Yeah, Pentar, where do you end up hitting him?
Oh, I don't know, actually. I kind of want to like shake him by the shoulders and being like, we could have been friends.
yeah.
I already
Why
have
do you make me
friends.
do this to you?
And while you're shaking him, the pain is just going through your body. You're like breaking his shoulder bones. His ribs are cracking. It's like the worst bear hug ever.
You're Lennying him. Don't Lenny Colker.
Zinc, what are you gonna do?
So I can see a portal,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and Herb has this orb.
Which is looking near explosion.
If he threw it off the side of the tower, would it be exploded? Or like what would he be throwing it into? Do we know?
Roll an investigation check.
22.
Yeah, so as a tinkerer, you're pretty well aware of working with mana and magical artifacts and constructs, and you can tell that this thing is got so much mana because it's connecting across space and time to attach itself to Apophis. If this blows up, and it looks like it's going to blow up any second now, there's going to be a magic mana explosion. It would be the equivalent of a 10 exponent fireball.
So he probably shouldn't be holding on to it.
Right. I have an idea.
Okay. What's your idea?
But did I gather this information from you?
Yeah, so
Were
I'm
you
gonna
thinking-
okay, so we're gonna chat and I'm gonna say, okay, so I'm gonna tell him what I know about this thing. I'm
All right.
gonna say that we probably don't have time to like take this thing and throw it into the room because we also don't want to kill Colker. So we could throw it into the portal.
That was my idea. If we
Okay,
can.
good. We're doing it. Throw it in the portal.
So
Not put style. Just
how the sides of these like ruins are there any like breaches in it that might shortcut us through in this room at all?
Well, you're at
to,
the
like,
top.
exit-
You've climbed up to the top of this.
Oh,
Yeah, so you're sort of on the roof because you've climbed up the floor, which is the wall off that ladder. So yeah, you have a clear shot to the portal.
great. I'm
Um,
going to, you know what? And I can just back me up with, or I can. What is
I was
it?
gonna say I kind of want to like I have shield. I kind of want to like put shield up around us real quick.
Well, do you think I can throw it there, or do I have to like dash?
I think you could throw it. Right?
That's a pretty.
I mean, you have a good throwing arm. Your boomerang is like, I feel like this would be like a throwing challenge. I mean,
Well,
tell me if I'm wrong or not, but
If you walk to the edge, it would be about 40 feet.
I'm not gonna risk that. I'm gonna say I'm gonna use a key point with Step of the Wind
Mm-hmm.
to dash extra quick over just to the mouth of the portal. That way I can just give it a nice little and surefire into the portal.
You dash over to it and you throw it into the portal.
Yes.
On the other side of the portal, you see the lich look at you and watch it roll by, and his eyes sort of come up, and then this massive explosion. I mean, it's just a second, a flash of light. You are thrown all the way back up against the tower, King Herb.
Uh-huh.
And the portal itself is completely destroyed. And
Oh God.
it blinks out to the other end.
Didn't think that would happen. Didn't know that's how portals worked. But
Well,
I guess that makes sense.
The one on the other side is gone.
Yeah. No, I pieced that together. I just thought magic, you know.
And you it seems like you have also destroyed the mortuary and probably a good section of the hive.
Oops.
Oh,
For
I
a noble cause. For a noble cause. Now, I'm gonna look back at Zinc and go,
Pentar, first I need you to roll a wisdom saving throw, because this goat of terror is still trying to do its best.
I know. I'm like not even paying attention to the goat, you know? It's very odd. 17 plus 2, 19.
It is not you are not frightened of it, but it very much is like
This is my favorite die for saving throws.
Yeah.
So good.
Bart, you you're in Mechanus. So let's do this one little thing, because I thought we were gonna get to go here at one other point, and I want to show it because it is such a cool world, even if we're only in there for a second. So the ground splits open, Bart, and suddenly you are falling. You drop through.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, and for a heartbeat, there's only darkness, and then you smell oil, and the air is warm, humid, and you hear the sound of clanging metal. A forge, or perhaps every forge in existence, are all working in perfect concert with one another. Your eyes adjust to a world forged from gray, copper, and russet brown. Everything around you is made of cog wheels. Walls, towers, megalithic compounds, gears, they all punctuate the skyline, and you realize the entire city sits on the flat face of a massive cogwheel, miles and miles in diameter. You can see the edge and how it meshes with another massive cogwheel, a country-sized one, sort of perpendicular to yours, the edge rising vertically into space and out of sight through layers of steam clouds. Suddenly, an army walks past you. You see monodrones being led by duodrones, led by tridrones, by quadrones, by pentadrones. Hundreds of them are grouped before each one, and this sort of hierarchy ends up being thousands wide as they sort of walk down these wide aisles. Thor says, "Welcome to Mechanus."
Awesome. Can I be a Thornicorn now?
Oh yeah, this way. And he
let's
takes
go.
you through the center into this sort of giant room. As you're walking towards it, you hear a loud sort of horn blaring, and all the pipes traveling throughout to this sort of center tower sort of throw up writing into the air. And the writing says, Addressee, Primus, Protocol, Chaotic Threat Level 1, Command. All the chaotic creatures must immediately come to meet me. All Modrons, stay battle ready. At level 2, we will initiate an invasion until the chaotic threat is eliminated. Further command, none. And all of the Modrons point their swords to you, and Thor says, I think we should follow them.
Okay. Are they gonna make me a Thornicorn?
Yes! I think we can make that happen.
Nice! Let's do it!
You walk with them to sort of a large tower. Okay. As that is going on, let's come back to Citadel Alluvius in the plane of ash and dust. Next up in our encounter, we have Colker.
Okay, so am I still being crushed by Pentar, or are my arms free?
Your arms are free, but she's still got her hands on your shoulders.
Okay, I do something I really don't want to have to do. I reach into my bag,
Oh no.
and I pull out a hunk of numbroot.
A what?
Oh!
He pulls out a what?
He pulls out a drug.
Is it a plant?
It is a kind of plant. Yeah. It's a
I have
root.
advantage against plants.
He doesn't give it to you. He puts it in his own mouth.
Cool.
Oh my god. It fills
I'm
you
sorry,
with-
is this a Popeye kind of thing?
It is a
Yeah.
mixture of like cocaine, heroin, and steroids.
So he just, opened a can of spinach on me. That's what's
Yeah.
happening.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
Except this is really addictive spinach, and I am not very long off this shit.
It's like,
Oh no.
I have been clean for what, a couple of weeks?
No, like 2 months.
2 months. Okay, I couldn't remember how much time passed between the two campaigns.
Oh, this is a sad story.
It is. He
This
was
is a sad
he was
day for
bad
you,
addict
dude.
and had to get off of it.
Yep, but
Should have just stuck
sometimes
with
you gotta
Nina.
do what you gotta do.
actually, you had other options. We were going to be friends, and you chose violence. I feel like that's on you.
Here's the thing. I already have friends. I don't like them, but they're my friends.
Mm.
Sure. They have not come back here. I just want you to know.
Like I
have
said, I
not
don't like
returned.
them very much,
I-
but they are my friends and they are my companions.
I don't know what Candy.
they are your
Simmons has to say about this.
companions.
Colker, you feel like you can do anything.
Cool.
You have advantage on all ability checks and attack rolls for the next hour.
Excellent. I start by attacking with my flame blade and my shadow glass daggers.
Okay. With advantage?
A flame blade with advantage, I roll a 7 to hit, so that doesn't do much. Shadow glass daggers, 24 to hit.
Was that a natural 20? No.
No, 24. No, 17 plus 7.
Okay, great. The shadow glass daggers go through again, and she's right next to you, do some pretty bad damage. Go ahead with them, and remember you get to add 6 instead of 4.
Great, 10 points.
That takes a significant chunk out. Now, yeah, she's nearing 1/3 health left. Unfortunately, it is her move. You're right next to her, and you are very weak.
Yes, but I don't feel shit.
That's right. Feel no pain.
Oh
Blaze of
man. Man, oh man.
I am full of spice.
Ah. I have only
He'd
used
kill
this
you.
spell twice, and I'm gonna use it again because you're still here. Yeah, I'm going to use the spell Inflict Wounds. Sorry, I'm not sorry, actually.
Roll to attack, but roll twice. Roll with disadvantage because he's got number going on.
Okay, my lower one is 13 plus 8.
It just gets through. Three D10, right? That's what you've got with it.
Yeah. Oh man,
Boy, no
I actually
guest star
practiced
has
that.
had so much happiness about killing us.
Not gonna
There's a
lie,
glee
that's
in
my
there.
total modus operandi. I totally told you about it in the beginning. Floating
great.
voice.
Floating voice.
Floating voice. Can't kill me. I'm a
I
hallucination.
know, right? 16.
Oh, okay. So he's knocked unconscious. But you know,
Before I do, I shout, I regret enough.
now the only way he can truly die is if he fails 3 death saving throw, or you continue to attack him and you deplete his health points negative as much as positive. So you'd have to get him down to negative 45 health points. He's now at negative 2.
I mean, you've got nothing
Right.
but time at this point.
But you could totally do that. Okay.
If I didn't believe in natural causes, and I feel like naturally you're gonna die eventually. And if you don't, well,
Colker, roll your first death saving throw.
I'm sorry, what
It's
do
a
I roll?
Constitution. Constitution, you have +2.
6.
You fail the first one. You have moving closer to death. The entropy in this space is working. Okay, Zinc. Oh no, wait. Yeah, Zinc. It's up to you. You just lost your escape route. The portal out of here is gone, and Herb is laying against the wall.
Okay. Can I make it to the... Can I get into sight of our friend over here?
You have Pentar and Colker?
Yeah, Pentar, yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, I'd say you can still sort of see them through the trap door because no one barricaded it.
If I cast Tasha's Caustic Brew, would it also get on Colker with where he is?
I think so. I mean, they are right next to each other.
He dead.
Well, no, hold on. 30 feet straight line. No, 30 feet long, 5 feet wide. No, you could hit her without hitting Colker.
All right, I'm going to cast Tasha's Caustic Brew.
Mm-hmm.
Second level.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You go ahead and cast it. A stream of acid shoots out from you. See how close you have to get to do this. Can you do this where you are? You have to move a little bit. You have to move about 10 feet closer. It shoots out from you right at Pentar. Pentar, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
oh Lord, lordy. Ooh, +2. Thank God. Okay.
It's also probably a surprise because she doesn't see me.
Mhm.
But I'm still on oil.
No, you are not on the oil. You're off of it.
Oh, hell yeah. Okay. Well, anyway. 9.
You don't get out of the way. So tell us how much damage she takes. Zinc, 2d4 acid.
That is 10 acid damage.
Ooh, it gets her pretty good. Yeah, it sort of goes all sort of burning her down, her body. And then is our guy still cowering? Yes.
Dude, like
he's
seriously, get off the floor. My God.
This guy, I mean, he's only getting
Thank
like
God.
6s, 4s, and 7s terrible.
You know what? If your father wasn't dust, we would have a conversation about how you're doing right now.
Look,
This is
nobody knows
ridiculous.
how they're going to perform under pressure.
Dude.
King Herb, it's your move.
Hi. Okay. Yes. Let us. Well, so now I'm like trapped on the outside of this thing.
Yeah, that's right.
There
There are sort of rubble though and openings in different places around.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna try to squeeze my way back into this situation over here, if I'm able to.
So there's a lot of rubble you can sort of climb up, and this sort of weapons rack is between you and the room. So you'd have to sort of leap over the weapons rack.
That sounds potentially fatal.
You gonna try it?
Can I like scale the side of this thing towards
Yeah,
the west?
Do a strength check.
Okay. Just trying to find another way in. 13 plus 4, 17.
Yeah, okay. So you get up to the top, but that's as far as you can can
Okay.
get on that move. Okay. Roll a wisdom check, Pentar.
Yeah, I really gotta address this thing. Like, it's just getting ridiculous now. 14.
No, that's as close as you've come, but you still beat it.
Ooh.
It is a 14 wisdom check. You're so close. Okay. Bart,
Yeah.
back in Mechanus. You now the Modrons bring you into what looks like a large warehouse, but inside of this warehouse is a giant construct. It's over this pool of energy. It's towering, dozens of feet tall. It's got one hand in a sort of cloud of rainbows, and it's got its other hand in a cloud of darkness. And it looks down on you, and with the sound of grating gears, it says, "Chaotic creatures and Thor, you are not welcome. Primus forbids it."
Oh, sorry. Could before I go, could you make me a thornicorn?
Roll a charisma check.
Nice. This all right. Natural 20. And I also have a +6 charisma, I think. Hold on, let me pull it up. It's a lot. Hold on. Bart the Basher. Here we go. This is gonna be great. A charisma saving throw, yeah? 26 natural 20.
Okay. 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 What happens is Primus says to you, you make a good point. If you can help law and order, I will make you a thornicorn. But first, you must help stop the chaos that is ravaging the land. A chaotic creature, a serpent, has been unleashed. Stop the serpent, and the thornicorn is yours.
Okay.
And he opens his mouth and says, "If you climb inside my mouth, I can cast planar shift and send you where you need to be."
All right. I take out my mini hammer and my tail, and I run and I dive through his mouth.
Okay, roll a dexterity check. Acrobatics, actually.
Acrobatics. 18. I'll take it.
Yeah, so you go through a couple of different gears, sort of chainsaws, and you hit a black obsidian sphere, and you're sort of... Yeah,
I fart rainbows as I go through.
that's right. You're transported through space, and you fall inside an armory with a dwarf and a gnome that you've never met before.
Who are you? Wait, are you
Bart!
the chaos I'm
I
supposed to
scream,
smash?
Bart, 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 and I like run and I like grab him and I like, hug him and I like punch him in the face because I'm so excited.
Do you know me?
Say
I know
yes.
I know I'm Bart, because Thor told me.
You're Bart, and
That's
here
what
is
I
your
am
basher.
now. Oh, okay. I was supposed to bash a snake. Can you point me in the direction of the snake?
That way.
Well,
Okay.
question mark. Well, I guess we don't really know what happened to our snake yet.
I don't
but-
know. I'm gonna go bash it. That way. I go charging off in whatever direction she pointed.
Yeah, go towards the trapdoor.
With my tail and mini Thor.
Okay, so Bart, now you have a few things. Let me give it to you as you run through. It is called you'll see it in your inventory as Hammer of Lightning. And you've given him back the light of Bart's heart?
No, I was going to give him the small basher.
Oh, the little
Not
basher?
the light of not the light of Bart's heart.
I don't know what all
remember
you've been
anything.
through, and as far as I'm concerned, you still scorned me a little bit. So
Damn.
Wow.
listen,
This is
you
a
don't get to be
whole
kicked by
party.
being nice to everyone.
Isn't there like arterial spray right now? I don't know how you're going to make that argument while you're choking out on your own blood.
I got cured wounds,
Oh, okay. All right, fine.
so
That's
yeah.
right. I have the Warhammer of Brittany and Mershnar.
And you have a
little
little
one.
one too, if you need it.
Yeah, I don't think I can say Mugger, so it's gonna be the monster car.
All right. So you've got Mjolnir Jr. This has
Monster Car Junior.
Monster Card Jr. It has 5 charges. It can call lightning. It can call chain lightning. It can call lightning bolt. It does 1d8 plus 4 plus 2d6 radiant damage.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
It has a thrown property, and it returns to your hand immediately after you've thrown it.
Just like the light of Bart's heart.
On a bonus action, you can call it back to your hand. It can hover in the air to the height of your hand and move in a straight line towards you. Any objects in that line are going to be hit. When you make a melee or ranged attack, it was 1d8 force damage plus 2d6 lightning damage. If you can cast any spell that does lightning damage as lightning effect, you can cast it through the hammer. And you can use your action to spin the hammer, gaining momentum. You can then use the hammer's momentum to propel you to fly 60 feet. You can fly 60 feet with it.
More importantly, does it bash?
It bashes.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go bash the snake.
All right. So you land and you start running into this fight.
I start flying into the fight. Hello.
Are you going to fly over the top?
Duh.
Yeah.
You think I'm gonna have the ability to fly and then not fly?
You're going to have to land in the grease if you do that.
Your point?
Exactly what I was hoping you'd say.
Is it cooler?
Yes. Colker, I need you to do another death saving throw.
Yeah, Bart.
And it's Constitution.
Uh-huh.
6.
You
my
are
God.
moving closer to death. One more fail
Sure am.
throw, and it's over for you. Okay. Pentar, you notice that this weird giant buff elf has just flown in with a hammer helicopter.
And who are you? I
I'm Bart.
swear.
I'm the voice in your head.
Why?
We're best friends.
We are. Good to see you. Good to meet you.
It's good to
Welcome.
meet me too. I just met myself.
I
I'm gonna
know.
go
Welcome
smash
to the
snake.
plane.
Yeah, thanks. I'm gonna smash the snake so I can become a thornicorn.
Oh, you just became my enemy. I don't think
But
so.
why?
No.
But
That's
why
my
can't
pet.
we be friends? And
It's
just
my
hold
pet.
on.
You want to kill my pet? It's like killing my dog. What's wrong with you?
Thornicorn. Hello. I mean, it should
Right.
speak for itself. Look, let me just bash the snake and then we can hug it out.
Oh, I can't let you do that. I just can't let you do that. So
Well, okay.
I'm gonna have to stab you. Sorry.
Oh, okay. I wasn't planning to bash you, but I'm gonna have to bash you.
We're at a bit of an impasse. It's fine.
I don't know what that word means.
18 plus. It is my turn, yes?
It is
I'm
your
not
turn.
just attacking
But
out
as
of
you, no, it's your turn. But as you run, I need you to roll a dexterity saving throw because he's in the middle of the puddle of grease.
Grease!
I changed my mind. I don't want to use the sword. I want to use the longbow.
Okay, that's probably a smart move.
So 18 plus 6 is 24. 24.
That gets through because Bart's wearing no armor.
Yeah, what happened to all my
Cool
armor?
means, bro.
Well, you died, and then you were sent to a plane without it.
Aw.
7.
So 7 damage.
Yeah.
All right.
It hits.
It's not a lot.
No, it hits Bart's chest, just doing a little bit.
Oh.
Zinc, what are you gonna do?
Can I spare the dying Colker?
Yes, you can, but you have to get to him.
Okay, how far away am I from Colker right now?
Well, he's on the other side of the trapdoor, so you're like 20 feet through, and then you gotta touch through the trapdoor.
Can I make it?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna Colker, spare the dying.
All right. You reach through the trapdoor, and you put your hand on Colker, and Colker, your eyes pop open.
What the hell?
And you may notice that Bart has one arrow sticking out of him and is now in the room.
Son of a... Bart, you're back!
I'm back. Who are you?
We'll discuss that later!
Okay, I gotta go bash this lady.
Yes, you do!
We were best friends, but we broke up.
Oh,
Yeah.
the lieutenant has beat the grease.
Oh,
Oh, good morning. Hello. I seem to be doing this by myself.
The lieutenant gets up and hits you, Bart, with the silver greatsword. This does damage because it is a silver greatsword. You were not cleared of your lycanthropy in the move. And it ends up doing 14 points of damage. But it also does another 17 points of shadow damage.
Wow.
Bringing you down to 14 hit points.
What the hell? I just got here. I haven't even done anything yet.
Way to go, Lieutenant.
I'm in the fight, Pentar. Great factotum.
Fabulous. All right.
Sorry,
Seems like a while. Seems like luck is back on my side. Let's go, guys.
Okay, King Herb, you're on top of the wall.
All right. Now, am I able to? I'm like, I can get into the room now, right?
Yep, you can get in. You could even sort of come down on top from the roof, or you can run into the room.
Oh, I'm gonna run to the west over there so I can get like an aerial view into the room.
Yep. You can see Bart fighting this sort of.
Well, no, I don't want to get that close to the business. Can you back me up just like?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
You can't see them though because the overhang is covering up.
Oh, okay. Then yeah, put me back. You were right.
Yeah, if you're there, you can sort of see
my
them.
DM. Yeah. And I'm gonna use my boomerang.
Yeah.
On
darn boomerang.
Pinto, of course.
Okay.
I'm not a bean.
What is your name?
Just referring to you as a car. Thank you.
I'm allergic to bean.
The Dodge Pinto.
Okay, 12. That is a 19 to hit.
That gets through.
All right. And as for the damage, 3 plus 12, 15.
Oh, the boomerang sort of flies around, and does it come back to you, or does it sort of, I think it sticks in them, right? Or does it come back to you? This can come back to you.
Yeah, I mean, if I can get it back in my hand, that's preferable.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it was blunt force that it did.
You can do that. It does blunt force, you're saying?
Yeah, so like it wasn't like this pointy end got her, like the damage happened from like the angle point of it, like smashing on her face or something.
Okay. Yeah, it goes through, it hits you right in the face, Pentar. And how much damage did you
Pentar,
say?
that's the name.
Yeah.
15.
15 damage.
Jeez.
And really takes you down now. You only, you're at just over 10% of your hit points, 15%, I think. And that sort of knocks you bad, breaks your nose, messes up your face, which you pride a lot because you're high charisma. You don't like it at all.
Jeez, I feel like we should have had rules about like not hitting people in the face, like dodgeball rules.
Can I yell when I get on top of there and point at Colker? Because that's my friend.
At this point, the spell finally wears off on the figurine of wondrous power, and it just drops back to another normal little figurine in the middle of the floor. Bart, it is your move in this fight.
Okay, finally, here we go. All right, I'm sorry, old best friend. We're just not friends like we used to be. We fell apart after high school. So here we go. So I'm going to go double-barreled with Brittany and Monster Car.
First, you have to roll a dexterity saving throw because you're going across the grease.
I'm flying.
Oh, point, good sir. Touche.
All right. I'll do Monster Car first. There we go. Oh, damn it. I don't think I hit. What happened? I lost Monster Car.
You lost Monster Car?
Oh, there it is. Yeah, 14.
14 hits.
Ah, yes! Monster Car! Okay, let's do... All right, what? Okay, we'll start with 10. Okay, so that's 15 for Monster Car. Now let's go, Brittany.
Damn.
Ooh, Brittany's a 21.
And Brittany hits one more time.
Yeah, sorry. So that's 7 plus 8, so 15. So a total of 30 points.
Oh, so Pentar, as you're hit twice, boom, boom, with these huge warhammers, the tank finally arrived. Do you say anything in the moment before you are knocked unconscious?
All things will return to dust. Al Pacino.
One of my best friends, and now you're goo on my hammer.
What are you guys gonna do with Pentar? Pentar, you could. Oh wait, there is one lieutenant left, and the lieutenant says, "Pentar, you killed our factotum. Let me take her back to the armory. Let me save her."
We will let you have her if you show us where the portal out of here is.
It's right outside. Didn't you see it? It's just a little bit.
I destroyed it. Where's the other one?
Oh my gosh!
What's plan B, my good friend?
Oh my god! So there is a planar shift, a box of planar shift that can take you to Sigil, but it can only transport 4 people.
How many is us?
Well, we are 4.
Yes, but what about Pentar and myself? You'll be stranding us here in the plain of ash and dust.
Okay.
Well,
Dust to
to
dust,
am I
bitch.
right? As Pentar would have chosen
That's what
to let
Pentar would
life
have
take its
wanted
natural
that.
course instead
Yeah.
of, yeah.
He says,
Gotta be a
well,
true believer.
I'm not telling you where it is.
Wait, I'm supposed to
Well,
be
then-
killing a snake right now. Guys, I don't have time. You guys figure out, get the ride home. I need to kill a snake.
Well, how are you getting out of here?
I'll worry about that later. I'm gonna become a barticorn. I need to kill the snake.
I think. All right.
Where's the where's the snake?
The snake, Apophis? Apophis is, he escaped. I mean, we hired him we summoned him so he would, he would kidnap Yin Wang Ye, but then he's escaped somewhere else. I think he's destroying the prime material world.
Yeah, that's the one I want to kill. Where'd he go?
Oh, I believe he went through the portal that was unregistered that those primes came through recently.
Well, wasn't there like a hole with a snake that we could see? Can I jump through the hole? Like an orb or something?
Where is the orb?
We threw it into the portal. So now we got to know where to go to get to the back where we came from.
He hands you. Oh, we lost King Herb.
He's coming back.
He says, fine. He says, fine. Take this and just go. Just leave me to help heal Pentar, and please tell the Doomgaurd we're here.
Okay. I don't know who you are, but tell my friend, sorry about the murder. Maybe we'll be friends again later.
He gets this box and he hands it to you. He says, now, it doesn't matter though. You've only destroyed one of the 3 keeping the snake invulnerable.
Oh.
Wait,
I
so
don't
we're gonna let him heal her? Wait.
Leave me now. He sort of puts himself over Pentar.
Wait, is Pentar gonna come back and be more problems with the snake?
No, without the orb, she can't. The orb is what each of the wizards have attuned themselves to. So Pentar was Apophis's body. She was keeping it invulnerable to attack. One of the other factions was keeping the brain invulnerable to psionic spells, and the final one was keeping the fangs invulnerable.
Wow, you are so much better at exposition than standing up.
So, which realm is the brain keeper in?
I've said too much, really.
No.
I'll tell you if you let Pentar and me live.
Well, sure, you can live, but you're gonna live in this place and never leave.
Yeah, we'll let you live. That's no problem. So, which realm is it?
All I know is that the brain was with the Aethar from the destroyed temple. The Aethar faction and their factotum Hobard was keeping it alive. I don't know where his citadel is, but in Sigil you can find them at the Aethar temple.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Knowing that he is so terrible at being in Greece, I'm gonna go ahead and cast Grease again all over him as we go through this box, and he can deal with himself.
You guys put your 4 hands on this box and it shimmers, and when you appear, you now appear back in Sigil in front of the mortuary. And that is where we will end this session. NJ, thank you so much. You were amazing.
Yeah, that was very
no
fun.
problem.
It's so good to get to do some PvP.
That's true. That was fun.
Yeah.
Because when the dungeon master plays monsters, sometimes he lets them off easy, so it's so much better. Like, I really thought Seth was about to get to go to Judgment City.
So did
no,
I.
you forgot to grab my little goat.
Oh yeah, you lost your figurine.
Damn it.
order. You still have the
Well,
other.
now Pintos has the Pentar. Pentar
Pentar has the goat of
I
terror.
have not multiple beans. My goodness.
Pintar has my goat. That's my special
What?
gift to you for next time.
Thank you.
We're not great at paying attention to the details here.
Go written by Albie, not Pinter.
I am a playwright. Thank you.
All right, everyone. Thank you. We will see you. We're taking next Monday off, but we'll see you in 2 Mondays for session 6 of Broadway Hit Points.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you for having me.